My coworker kept stealing my food. He didn't know my special recipe was meant just for him. This didn't start over a sandwich. I need you to understand that. This wasn't about a missing bag of chips or a stolen yogurt. This was about respect. It was about being pushed, and pushed, and pushed, until I finally decided to push back. The person at the center of this is Mark. Mark is a character. He's one of those guys who wears a suit that's just a little too shiny. He talks just a little too loud. He laughs at the boss's jokes just a little too hard. He's a yes man, a thought leader, a circle backer. He uses every terrible corporate buzzword you can imagine. And he's been a thorn in my side since the day I started. It began small. He'd borrow my good pens and they'd never reappear. He'd talk over me in meetings, taking my idea, rephrasing it, and presenting it as his own 5 minutes later. I'd say, maybe we should streamline the code. Silence. 5 minutes later, Mark would clear his throat. A thought, just to build on what we're saying, what if we optimize the code for a more streamlined user experience? The boss would nod. Great thinking, Mark. It was infuriating. It was death by 1,000 paper cuts. I went to my boss, Sarah. She gave me the classic, well, Mark is just very enthusiastic. Try to be more assertive. I went to HR. They gave me the, this sounds like a simple personality conflict. Have you tried talking to him directly? I did. I asked him to please stop taking my pens. He laughed. They're just pens, man. Relax. I asked him to please stop interrupting me. He looked at me with fake pity. I'm just trying to help you flesh out your ideas. You seem to get stuck. He was a gaslighting, credit-stealing nightmare. But he was polished. He was a good little corporate soldier. So nothing was ever done. Then, the lunch stealing started. It happened about 3 months ago. I bring my lunch every day. My wife, Anna, is an amazing cook. She loves packing my lunch. It's our little ritual. She makes these incredible, healthy, delicious meals. It's the one bright spot in my otherwise beige corporate day. I came to the break room. I opened the fridge, and my glass container was gone. Not just the food, the entire container. I was confused. I checked every shelf. Nothing. I figured I must have left it at home. The next day, it happened again. This time, I knew I had packed it. The day after that, I found my empty glass container in the break room dishwasher, rinsed clean. Someone was eating my food and then, almost mockingly, washing the dish. I sent a department-wide email. Hi team, reminder to please only take the food you brought. Someone has been accidentally taking my lunch. The next day, my food was gone by 10 a.m. This wasn't an accident. This was a power play. I knew, in my gut, it was Mark. It had to be. It was his exact brand of arrogant disrespect. He was the only one who seemed to enjoy making me miserable. I put a note on my lunch. Please do not eat. This is my food. The note was crumpled and thrown in the trash. The lunch was gone. I went to HR again. Someone is stealing my lunch every day. They sighed. Do you have any proof of who it is? I think it's Mark. You think? We can't act on a think. We can send out another memo. The memo went out. Mark himself replied all to it. So disrespectful. Hope they catch the thief. I was seeing red. This went on for 2 more weeks. Every day, I tried hiding my lunch. He'd find it. I tried putting it in an ugly bag. He'd take it. He was hunting for it. He was enjoying this. He was showing me that he could do whatever he wanted, and I was powerless to stop him. He'd even walk past my desk around 1 p.m., snacking on a granola bar, and say, skipping lunch again, not healthy bud. The humiliation was a hot coal in my stomach. I complained to my wife. I was defeated. I was ready to just buy sad, overpriced salads from the cafe downstairs forever. But Anna is smarter than me. And she's protective. She listened patiently one night as I ranted. Then she smiled. A slow, dangerous smile. Oh honey, she said. If he wants your lunch so badly, I think it's time we give it to him. What, like, just let him? No, she said, walking to the pantry. We're going to make him a very special lunch. A lunch he will never, ever forget. And that brings me to today. Today is the day of reckoning. My alarm went off at 6 a.m. I didn't hit snooze. I shot out of bed, my heart pounding with a mix of terror and righteous fury. Anna was already in the kitchen. On the counter was a bowl of leftover pasta. It looked delicious. A beautiful, creamy chicken Alfredo. Next to it was a small, dark bottle with a skull and crossbones on the label. It was a gourmet hot sauce. But not just any hot sauce. This was Satan's Regret, a specialty sauce made with a pure, unholy concentrate of Carolina Reapers and ghost peppers. Anna was wearing rubber gloves. "You're sure about this?" I whispered. "He's a thief," she said, not looking up. "He deserves what he gets." She unscrewed the cap. The smell was enough to make my eyes water. It smelled like chemical warfare. She took a dropper, and she carefully, meticulously, added 10 full drops of the extract into the pasta. She stirred it. The sauce didn't change color. It didn't look any different. It was a perfect, creamy, innocent-looking trap. Is that enough?" I asked. Anna just looked at me. "Honey, 1 drop of this is enough to make a grown man cry for his mother." 10 drops, well, 10 drops is a biblical event. She packed the pasta into my usual, nice glass container. Then, she packed my actual lunch, a simple, safe turkey sandwich, into an old, nondescript plastic tub. "The real one goes in your backpack," she said, handing it to me. "Don't put it in the fridge. The special one goes right in the front." I kissed her. I felt like a soldier going off to war. The drive to work was the longest of my life. The glass container felt like a bomb in my passenger seat. My hands were sweating on the steering wheel. Was I going too far? Was this malicious compliance, or was it assault? No, he is choosing to steal. He is choosing to open a container with my name on it and eat my food. I am just choosing my own ingredients. That's all. I walked into the office. My heart was a drum. I saw Mark at the coffee machine. He smirked at me. "Morning. Big day." "You have no idea," I muttered. I walked to the break room. The coast was clear. I opened the fridge. The familiar cold air hit my face. I took a deep breath. And I placed the glass container of nuclear-grade Alfredo on the middle shelf. Front and center. It was practically glowing. It looked incredible. Then, I walked back to my desk. And the wait began. The morning was torture. Every email notification made me jump. Every time someone walked toward the break room, my head snapped up. I had a meeting at 10 a.m. I couldn't focus. Sarah, my boss, was talking about Q4 projections. All I could think about was that pasta. Mark was in the meeting. He was in full peacock mode. "Excellent point, Sarah." And to piggyback on that, I just stared at him. I stared at his mouth. And I thought, soon you will pay for my pens. The meeting ended at 11:30 a.m. Lunchtime at our office is usually 12:30 p.m. This was the longest hour of my life. I typed. I pretended to work. I stared at my screen so hard I gave myself a headache. 12 o'clock p.m., 12:15 p.m., 12:20 p.m. At 12:25 p.m., Mark stood up. He stretched, patting his stomach. He looked around the office, his eyes landing on me for just a second. He grinned. Then, he started walking toward the break room. My blood turned to ice. This was it. He was in there for maybe 2 minutes. He walked back out. He wasn't carrying anything. My stomach dropped. He didn't take it. He went to the bathroom instead. My plan had failed. He must have seen the trap. Maybe he saw me put it in. Maybe he finally grew a conscience. I felt a wave of crushing disappointment. But then, at 12:35 p.m., he went back to the break room. This time, when he walked back to his desk, he was carrying it. He had my glass container. He had the bait. He sat down. He didn't even have the decency to eat it in the break room. He was going to eat it right at his desk. He wanted me to see it. He was 6 desks away from me. I could see him perfectly. He opened the lid. He probably smelled the garlic and cream. He took out a fork. He twirled the pasta. He smiled. He put the fork in his mouth. I stopped breathing. He chewed. Once. Twice. He had a look of pleasure on his face. Delicious, he probably thought. He swallowed. He took a second bite. A bigger one. He was arrogant. He was invincible. He chewed. And then, it happened. His entire body went rigid. His eyes went wide. Impossibly wide. The color drained from his face, and then came rushing back in a tidal wave of deep, blotchy red. He dropped his fork. It clattered on the desk. A small noise escaped his throat. A high-pitched gasp. Hawk. He grabbed his water bottle. He drained the entire thing in one gulp. This, I've learned, is the worst thing you can do. Water just spreads the oil. His eyes started to water. No. They started to stream. He shot up from his chair. It flew back and hit the partition. Clack. The whole office looked up. Mark's mouth was open, but no sound was coming out. He was flapping his hands. He looked, panicked. He grabbed his throat, and then, he bolted. He sprinted. He didn't just walk fast. He ran the 20 yards to the men's bathroom, his shiny shoes slipping on the carpet. He slammed into the door and disappeared inside. A second later, from behind the closed door, we heard it. A sound of violent, desperate retching. It was a sound I will not soon forget. The office was dead silent. Brenda from accounting whispered, "My God." I just stared at my monitor. I felt a slow, beautiful, zen-like calm wash over me. It was done. We heard more noises from the bathroom. Groaning. More retching. Then, the sound of the sink faucet blasting. Mark was in there for a long, long time. 10 minutes. 15 minutes. People were starting to whisper. Is he okay? Did he have a heart attack? Sarah, my boss, got up and walked over. She knocked on the bathroom door. Mark, are you all right in there? We heard a pained, wet moan. Go away. She came back, looking pale. I think he's just sick, she announced. Everyone, back to work. But nobody worked. We just sat there, listening. Finally, after 20 full minutes, the bathroom door opened. The man who emerged was not the Mark who went in. He was a wreck. His face was chalk white, except for his eyes, which were blood red and puffy. His hair was soaked with sweat. His tie was undone. He was trembling. He looked like he had seen a ghost. He walked slowly, unsteadily, back to his desk. He saw the open container of pasta. He looked at it like it was a live grenade. Then, his red, watery eyes scanned the room. And they landed on me. I wasn't smiling. I had a perfectly neutral, slightly concerned expression. He knew. I knew he knew. He pointed a shaking finger at me. You, he screamed. His voice was raw. The whole office froze. You did this. I blinked. I feigned confusion. Did what? Mark, are you okay? You look terrible. My mouth. It's on fire. What did you put in that? And there it was. The admission. I let the silence hang for a moment. Put in what? I asked, standing up. The pasta. Your pasta. I ate it. What did you do? I put on my best shocked face. Mark, did you say you ate my lunch? The whole office was staring. Sarah was standing right there. Mark's face crumpled. He realized his mistake. It was an accident. I thought it was mine. You thought my glass container with my name on it was yours. Mark, you bring sandwiches in a Ziploc bag every day. Mark, I said, my voice dripping with fake sympathy. I'm so sorry. I had no idea anyone else would be eating my food. Especially since I've sent so many emails asking for it to stop. I walked toward him. You see, my wife and I, we like spicy food. Really spicy. It's an old family recipe. I guess I just have a high tolerance. Oh, gosh, you must be in a lot of pain. I am so sorry that you stole my lunch today. His face went from white to purple. He was caught. He was humiliated. And he was in agony. He had to admit to being a serial lunch thief in front of everyone, just to accuse me of what? Liking spicy food. Sarah stepped in. Her face was grim. Mark, in my office, now. But him, Mark sputtered, pointing at me. You just admitted to repeatedly stealing a coworker's food, Mark. After multiple warnings from HR. In my office, now. He shot me a look of pure, unadulterated hatred. I just gave him a small, sad shrug. Hope you feel better, I said. The meeting with Sarah and HR lasted for the rest of the afternoon. I was called in briefly. I repeated my story. It was my lunch. I like it spicy. I never dreamed someone would steal it. I feel terrible that he's in pain, but he shouldn't be eating my food. HR looked at me. I looked at them. There was nothing they could do. I hadn't broken a single rule. Mark, however, had. He was given a formal, final written warning for theft of company property, which I guess my lunch became, and creating a hostile work environment. He didn't come back to his desk. He left around 4 p.m., carrying a small box of his things. Oh, not fired, just relocated. He was moved to the annex building. The one across the highway. The one we call Siberia. He's still with the company, technically. But I'll never have to see him again. When I got home, I walked in the door. Anna was waiting. So, she asked. I didn't say anything. I just walked to the fridge, pulled out my actual turkey sandwich, and took a long, slow, satisfying bite. She started to laugh. The next day, I brought my lunch. I put it in the fridge, front and center. And when I went to get it at 12:30, it was right where I left it. So, everyone, I have to know. I ate for giving a thief exactly what he deserved.